Imagine waking up to a world where nothing makes sense. You've been accused of a series of brutal murders, crimes so vile, yet you have no memory of committing them. What if the truth was far more terrifying than you could ever imagine? This is the story of a man who was labeled a killer, but never killed anyone. Let me introduce you to Alex. He's an ordinary man, just like you and me. He had a regular life, a steady job, and a quiet routine. That is, until one day everything changed. Alex was arrested, accused of a series of horrific murders. The evidence was clear: fingerprints on the weapons, DNA at the crime scenes. But there was one problem. Alex didn't remember doing any of it. How could it be? How could someone be accused of something so awful, yet not remember it? Alex was confused, scared, and unsure of what was happening. He didn't have a clear explanation, and the more he thought about it, the more questions piled up. He wasn't sure who he was anymore. As Alex sat in that cold, sterile interrogation room, he tried to wrap his mind around the reality of his situation. The more he thought about the murders, the more he felt like he was looking at someone else's life. Like the events were happening to a stranger, not him. How could he have committed such brutal acts without knowing? Determined to find out the truth, Alex began investigating his own case. He visited the crime scenes, talked to the detectives, and even tried to piece together his own memories. But everything seemed so blurry. It felt as though his mind was playing tricks on him. He couldn't recall anything. Not the murders, not the victims, not even the days leading up to his arrest. One night, after a long day of searching for answers, Alex had a breakthrough. He stumbled upon something that made his blood run cold. A diary. At first he thought it might just be a coincidence, but the entries were dated, and they were written in his own handwriting. It detailed everything: the murders, the victims, and most chilling of all, his own involvement. Alex was shaken to his core. How could he have written these things? And why didn't he remember any of it? Was he losing his mind? Or was there something darker going on that he didn't understand? As he continued to read, Alex realized something terrifying. The person writing in the diary wasn't him. It was someone else. Someone who had taken over his life. Someone who had committed the crimes in his name. Someone who was him, but not him. A split personality, a hidden identity, a darkness that Alex had never known existed within him. Alex's heart raced as he tried to make sense of it all. The more he uncovered, the more he realized the truth was far more disturbing than he had imagined. He wasn't just a victim of circumstance. He was a victim of his own mind. And that mind had created a killer, someone who was capable of doing terrible things, while Alex remained completely unaware. Was it possible? Could a person really be two different people? Could Alex have been living with a dark, violent alter ego for his entire life without even knowing it? The answer, as Alex soon discovered, was yes, and the truth was even worse than he could have ever imagined. In the end, Alex faced a horrifying reality. He wasn't the killer, but the killer was him, a part of him, a part he could never control, and one he could never escape. So the question remained: was Alex truly innocent, or had he simply been unaware of the darkness lurking within himself? Narrator. If you enjoyed this gripping tale, don't forget to subscribe to Storyverse for more chilling stories. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Alex was innocent, or was the truth much darker than we can understand?